Yes, but also no. What I mean by this is that some projects, they are just as good as the originals, but some, they either get canceled or it just doesn't receive enough attention. While some projects blow up with success like Danganronpa Another Despair Academy, many projects get canceled from things such as mental health problems, problems with team cooperation, or even just the project director losing motivation to continue. Danganronpa Despair Academy used RPG Maker, but other games can use systems such as Ren'Py to get success as well. Or they can make their own coding program like a lot of AAA games like Danganronpa has. I mean, it depends on what people think as being successful. I suppose I define it as the project being finished and the team, especially the original creators, feeling satisfied with it. Well, most of the time, these fan games are free and do not cost any money. This also comes from the fact that most projects are done for fun. Also, since there is almost little to no budget, Danganronpa fan game creators make video series instead of full-fledged games because it's cheaper. So yes, they can be as good as originals. It just depends on how much effort was put into it and whether or not the resources used were efficient in making it look good and entertaining. In production series like Danganronpa Hope's Bane, Danganronpa Redacted Fate, Danganronpa Primetime, Danganronpa Antebellum, etc. There are quite a few fan games being made currently. Danganronpa Labs is an excellent example of how people can use a free software and just their own creativity to make a full-fledged fan game feel good. They use Ren'Py, which uses basically a simplified version of Python to make a visual novel game. It's still pretty hard. You still have to put a lot of effort in the visuals and the storytelling in order to make the game entertaining and feel good. But RPG Maker is also great to use, since it was also being used in games such as Amori or even Mad Father, if you guys have ever heard of those. Those are kind of horror games slash just indie genre in general. So yeah, I mean, both of them are pretty great. You guys can check them out. And it depends on what version is being used. It's usually tossed around. Like for some, they use 2000, some use MV, some use VX Ace, which is one of the newest ones, etc. Danganronpa is such a niche genre and such a big game that I can understand why a lot of people, especially in America or other countries than Japan, are making these fan games. The scenario that was used in Danganronpa of the killing game is pretty brilliant and can really be replicated. It's kind of like a science experiment where you can replicate the game and use any type of character that you want. However, that isn't really to say that it isn't easy to really make the games. To make the games, you really have to build a team. Unless you have an experienced team of like 5 people, which is not really going to happen, then you're going to have to get a pretty large team of about maybe like 50 or 100 or so. I'm not sure. I'm not too experienced, but it's actually a pretty good experience if you guys want to try writing for a project, voice acting, or just trying to do a new thing in general. Also, cooperation with a team is pretty important depending on the job you're probably going to work in the future. I would have to say that the thing that made people drawn to Danganronpa is probably just the characters and like the impact that they had on the people. So if people try to replicate that too much, like if it's like a carbon copy clone, they don't do anything original, then people will not really want to watch it. Or if it's just not very, if there's no message at all, if there's no theme, people will probably not think of it as a good game. The writing and the characters, they're pretty important. So you can't really rush those, which means that games are probably going to take years to make. So in those years, people could die, people could be in a different situation. So yeah, there's lots of factors that can fail a game or project. Project Eden, which is a good example, Chapter 0 actually just came out like a week ago, and it's actually really good. Project Eden is a great example because they use animal motifs. So basically every single character, even the masterminds or the Monokumas, they have an animal assigned to them. For example, the main protagonist, Damon's animal motif is a snake. What I like about it also is that they don't try to go over the top with the characters, and the main character isn't really like a Makoto clone. But a lot of Danganronpa fan games are like that, where they try to make the protagonist anti-hero, but it kind of has to go with the premise of the story. If everybody's happy-go-lucky and then there's just one bad character and they basically don't do anything, then it's not going to end well. Yeah, we'll have to see how this project goes because only Chapter 0 has come out, so I don't know how long the other chapters are going to come out. Probably like Deltarune, where it takes like 8 years for the next chapter to come out, but we'll see. The premise and scenario of a game, if it goes from, oh, hi there, to, oh yeah, I'm going to kill you, or this person is dead now, unless it's being used one time for like a cliche or whatever, then it's not really going to be a good idea because it feels rushed if you do that. And if it's too long-winded, then people are going to get bored. You need to have a game scenario that hits at the right spot. Not too long, not too short. Characters can't be too quirky or random. They have to have actual personalities that people can relate to. There's a lot of factors that makes a game good. I feel like unless all those factors that I just mentioned hit, then they're not really going to succeed, or they're they're not going to be as good as AAA games. Okay, guys, that's pretty much it for the video. Also, thanks for 100 subs, guys. I know we hit that like a week or two ago, but I really appreciate you guys supporting me. And I hope you guys keep on watching. My name is CherryZero, and I will see you guys next time.